You've saved up 2.5 lakh rupees. You want a motorcycle with real presence, something heavy, metallic, and commanding, a true investment. But the moment you walk into a Royal Enfield showroom today, that clear vision hits a wall of confusion. You are suddenly staring down a lineup of different 350cc machines that all seem to promise the exact same thing. This chart breaks down the options. The Classic, Hunter, Meteor, and Bullet all run on the exact same 349.5cc engine. Because power is identical, comparing top speed is completely useless. The real differences lie in chassis and weight, so we are going to ignore the marketing brochures. Instead, we need to look at the raw physics and the daily running costs of the 2026 Classic 350 to see if its specific trade-offs actually make sense for your daily life. And we will start with a practical reality check. If you buy this exact bike, do not trust the digital fuel gauge. It might show a full tank and 2 minutes later quietly drop 2 or 3 bars. Choosing the Classic 350 is a calculation. You are deciding if carrying around nearly 200 kilos of heavy iron is worth the daily compromises you'll be forced to make. Look at the fuel tank. Look at the front mudguard. Almost everything on the Classic 350 is made of solid metal. There is barely a piece of plastic on the entire body. This bar chart compares the curb weights in the 350cc segment. The Classic sits right at the top, weighing in at almost 200 kilograms. That makes it by far the heaviest motorcycle in its class. That mass works to your advantage on the highway. At high speeds, the bike acts like a physical anchor. It sits completely planted on the road, effortlessly resisting heavy crosswinds and feeling incredibly stable. To manage all that momentum, Royal Enfield relies on dual-channel ABS, heavy-duty 300mm front disc brakes, and a softer twin shock absorber setup at the rear. Those softer rear shocks mean that if you regularly ride with a pillion, your passenger will experience significantly more comfort on long highway trips compared to the much stiffer, aggressive setup of the Hunter 350. But the physics of a 200-kilo machine are unforgiving in the city. Crawling through bumper-to-bumper traffic or backing out of a cramped parking spot requires real physical exertion. The chassis forces a clear trade. You give up razor-sharp city agility in exchange for a motorcycle that will outlast its competitors by decades and cruise smoothly on open stretches of road. The J-Series engine powering all of this iron is tuned specifically to produce 27 Newton-meters of low-end torque rather than chasing high-end speed. In practical terms, that means you can drop down into second or third gear in traffic, ease off the throttle, and the bike will steadily crawl forward without knocking or stalling. The physical limitation here is that the acceleration is strictly linear. You will not feel an aggressive pull off the line, and the engine hits a hard ceiling at around 120 kilometers per hour. If we map this out on a chart comparing low-end torque to top-end power, the Classic sits squarely in the bottom right corner. If you try to force it out of its comfort zone and push the engine to the red line, you will immediately feel heavy vibrations right through the foot pegs. Modern street bikes are built for the high-revving red zones. The Classic operates purely in the green zone. It dictates a relaxed, unhurried riding posture. The engine is a highly refined tool for relaxed cruising. If you want thrilling top-end acceleration, this power plant will only frustrate you. That brings us to the ongoing daily economics of owning this bike, specifically what it takes to keep that metal moving. Between the implementation of strict new BS6 Phase 2 compliance norms and the shifting quality of E20 fuel mixtures, engine efficiency has taken a hit. In real-world conditions, you are looking at a hard limit of 30 to 35 kilometers per liter. 10 years ago, older Royal Enfield models could easily pull 45. Today, many standard commuter bikes clear the 40 mark without breaking a sweat. If you cover long distances every single day through heavy city traffic, that 30 kilometer per liter limit creates serious financial friction month after month. The 2.5 lakh rupees you spend at the dealership is a one-time hit, but feeding a heavy motorcycle is a permanent premium you will pay every time you visit the pump. The Classic 350 is an expensive vehicle for a daily commute. Its purchase has to be entirely justified by its legacy and road presence, because the strict utilitarian math simply does not add up. So, factoring in the sheer weight, the low-end torque, and the ongoing running costs, here is exactly how to figure out which bike belongs in your garage. Look at this decision tree. If your primary goal involves tight city agility, navigating stop-and-go commuting every morning, and maintaining a strict budget, then rule out the Classic, especially if you are shorter or need more than 40 kilometers per liter. You should take that same budget and buy the lighter, much sharper Royal Enfield Hunter 350 instead. If you are entirely focused on pure, long-distance highway comfort and you want dedicated cruising ergonomics for weekend trips, bypass the Classic again. The purpose-built Meteor 350 is the better tool for that specific job. But maybe you are an investor in legacy. You prioritize commanding road presence, pillion comfort, and decades-long durability over perfect fuel economy. That points straight to the Classic 350. And with that choice comes a pair of massive practical benefits: unmatched resale value if you decide to sell it 10 years from now, and an after-sales service network that reaches into the most remote villages in the country. The 2026 Classic 350 is mathematically flawed as a dense city commuter, but if you want a permanent, commanding piece of iron that owns the road, there is still no other choice.